Well, hello and welcome. So you've decided that you like what you're hearing from vSAN, and you're thinking, how would vSAN work in my environment? Well, the great thing is that VMware's put together a tool that's going to take the guesswork out of it and give you a clear-cut response as to whether vSAN is the right fit for you or not. So you've been talking to your reseller, and they've signed you up for a vSAN assessment. You'll get an email from VMware saying that you've been invited to partake in a vSAN assessment. So what do you need to do? Well, first of all, you need to open up a browser and go to vip.vmware.com. VMware Infrastructure Planner is a tool that's going to carry out our vSAN assessment for us. So, let's sign in. And we can see on this first page that there is a vSAN assessment associated with our company. So let's click on that. Okay, so we can see what the customer needs to do. The first thing we need to do is download the collector appliance. So let's do that. We agree and begin the download, and that will begin to download in the background. So for the purpose of this video, I've already downloaded the collector appliance, and that comes down as a zip file. When we open up the zip file, we'll see there's a folder with a number of different files inside. One of those files is the OVA, which deploys the VMware Infrastructure Planner into our vSphere environment. So let's go ahead and deploy the VMware Infrastructure Planner into our vSphere environment. So we load up the vSphere web client and we deploy the OVA file. I browse for the file. Click Next. Click Next again. Accept the license agreements. Click Next. Give the virtual machine an appropriate name and an appropriate location. Select the disk format and appropriate data store. We're going to attach it to an appropriate network. And we can see here that if we have a DHCP server, we can leave all these fields blank. We're now ready to complete, so let's click Finish. Now we just wait for the OVA template to be deployed. Great, so we've deployed the OVA template into our vSphere environment, and we can see here that now the virtual machine of vSAN Infrastructure Planner is showing up within our inventory. So let's go ahead and power that virtual machine on. Great, so we can see now that the vSAN Infrastructure Planner virtual machine that we're going to use for our vSAN assessment has an IP address We're going to take that IP address and we're going to put it into a web browser. We're going to ignore the security warnings. And we need to now enter our unique assessment key. So to get our unique assessment key, we can go back to the VMware Infrastructure portal and we simply click on Settings. Under the settings, we can find our unique assessment key. We copy and paste that key into our VMware Infrastructure Planner and unlock it. Fantastic. So on the first screen of the vSAN assessment, we can see we have two choices. The first is to look at specific VMs and analyze their viability to run on a vSAN cluster, or the second option is to simply select a vSphere cluster within your environment and analyze that. For the sake of this video, we're going to select just some VMs. Now we need to enter into this screen the fully qualified domain name of our vCenter server, the administrative username that we'll use to connect to the vCenter server, and also its password. Great, so now the vSAN assessment tool has probed vCenter and got a list of the virtual machines that we will monitor. So we scan through these VMs and we'll select which ones that we were keen to understand of whether they could run on a vSAN cluster. So I'm going to select a few of these and I'm going to click Select and Continue. Now I click the duration of how many days I want to collect data for, up to 14, and click Continue. Our next option is to select how we'd like the necessary VIBs for the vSAN assessment to run. There are two choices, one's automatic and one is manual. For the sake of this collection, we have already installed the necessary VIBs, therefore we'll go with the manual mode. And that's it. We have now done all the steps required to carry out a vSAN assessment. All we have to do now is wait, and we will be emailed by VMware when the assessment timeframe has expired. Thank you for watching.